Hi Julia Watts here, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to have another look at the new Sentimentally Yours Floral Finery, the third release. And in this video we're going to be using the new Floral Finery Lovely Petals, which has got little cutout details around the edges of all the petals. And as with the other new Floral Fineries, there are 8 dies in here. There are 4 different sizes of 4 petal flowers and 4 different sizes of 3 petal flowers in this one. So that's the Lovely Petals. The leaves we're using are the new Majestic Fronds. Again, these are a bit plainer, so they've just got little cutout, upside down, little cutout details just in the edges of the leaves. And there are lefties and righties in 4 different sizes in those. The new Sensational Stamens 3, we're going to be using the final one of these that I haven't used so far, which is this one. So as you can see, there's 4 different designs, 3 sizes of each. So there's 12 dies on that. These are all A6 sets. And then, of course, we have to use the new fantastic Twiddly bits. I hope you've got this one already ordered. That's if not, then grab it, because I think this is going to be the quickest sellout in this release. You need these in your life. So there's 12 dies on here. Again, it's an A6 set, but as you can see, it is absolutely cram-packed full of dies. The whole sheet is full. So that's what we're using from the new dies. We're going to be using some other bits and pieces, which I will come to as and when. So we're going to be making a 7x7 card. I've got some layers here. I've used the Debossed double stitched squares on this piece of mirror card. I haven't got any of these left. Have a look on Honeypot, see if they have got those. It's SYCD0111 if you want the code to look for them. Excellent die set. Love this one. And as you can see, you've got that lovely debossed, there's the camera, go away, debossed detail around the edges there. A bit of a straggly bit. Right, and that's going to go onto my 7x7 card. Then I've just manually cut a piece using the, I think it's called Candy Pink. What is it? I've got it right in front of me. What have I used? Rose Petal Lustre card, that's the one. So I've manually cut this one. And this one is 6 1/4 inches square. And then I've cut the next size down in the debossed double stitch squares out of pure white card. I've embossed it with the Beaded Heart Lattice 3D embossing folder, which is absolutely stunning. So we're going to get these 3 layers stuck together. I will put that to the side for a minute. So when you do your embossing, I've said it many times, but I think it warrants saying again, do mist your card on both sides with some water and then pop it through the machine in your folder, and then the fibres of the card will work in and out of the 3D emboss nicely and you won't get any cracking. You might get some kind of warping, but that's easily flattened. This one will flatten underneath my mat. Let's see if I can actually get this one on straight, which would be nice, wouldn't it? I hope it doesn't move. We have a little song. It's never as straight when you cut things on your guillotine, although guillotines I think are better than trimmers, but it's all a bit of a muchness. If you can do it with your dies, then it's a lot better, a lot more accurate. So then we're going to pop this one onto our silver layer. As always, Sentimentally Yours PVA, because it's the best, as you'd expect from Mr. M. I'm hoping that this one doesn't move on the mirror card while it's drying. We shall see, won't we? I hope I'm not going to be annoyed of Hampshire again. I do hate it when things move. I struggle enough to get things straight as it is, but when they move as well, I'm very disappointed. I think we're good there. Right, that's going to go underneath there. Already looking very posh. Then, I don't know if you remember, earlier in the year, we had some fancy frames, some Floral Finery fancy frames, and we had a bit of an uproar really, because the actual Floral Finery, the second release, didn't actually last very long, and people have bought the frames and, you know, we can't get the flowers. But it doesn't matter what flowers you put on top of these, which I told lots of people at the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Floral Finery Fancy Frames collection, Floral Finery Heart, and there are 4 different frames in this release that was earlier this year. So we've got a heart, there's a circle, there's a rectangle, and there's a square. And as I record this, I did check, and they are all of them in stock at Honeypot Crafts. I haven't told you, have I, where you can get everything. You can get products from my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk, and as I said, you can get them over at Honeypot Crafts, including the fancy frames. I remember asking for some more, but there's very little stock at Honeypot, so that's why I haven't got them on my website. So if you want them, please be quick, because at Honeypot don't have many left. But they are a perfect base for you to put your flowers on, including this new Floral Finery 3 release. And you may see as well that there's some little butterflies on this one. And so we're going to be using the Tatty butterflies, which are still available on both websites, with them as well. So we will just do a quick recap on how you cut your frame out. So to cut this out, all you need to do is cut this die out here. That's all you need to do, and you will get this beautiful frame with the flowers and the butterflies and the leaves on it, okay? Then, if you want to cut out your backer, just like so, with the hole in the middle, then what you need to do is pop this down on your card and secure it with a bit of low-tack tape. Then you pop your decorative die in, and you make sure that the channels look quite even all the way around. Then you take this peculiar looking die here, and it will only fit one way, and you slot that into place. And again, you check that the channels around the edges here are evenish, or as even as you can possibly tell. Slides around on the mat. Remember, this is on card, it's not on a mat. Please don't just glue it to your mat. Put it on some card. And then you take away this decorative die here, and you run the card with that on it through your machine. And then you get what I've got in silver, this backer here. Okay? I think it's worthwhile just reiterating this each time I do one. I'm not going to do a card with all the fancy frames, because I know there's very little stock left and it's a bit of a tease. But as I said, head over to Honeypot Crafts and you'll see what the 4 fancy frames that there are left. And there is, it's single figures, so there's not many left, so you need to be quick. So we need to now put this on here, and then we're going to start building up our flowers and leaves using the new Floral Finery 3. So I'm going to dip it. The quickest way is to dip it, isn't it? Right, so where's my manky? It's not manky, it's just that I never get around to cleaning it. Mat. It's got glue all over it. I ought to clean it really, but I'm not going to do it in front of you. We've got an area here that's fairly cleanish. So, brush glue. I know Phil likes to actually brush it onto the die cuts. I don't. I like to dip in. So, you know, you find your own way, don't you? You do whatever rocks your boat. And we will actually, while we're at it, we will actually stick the sentiment together. Because I've remembered. So tell me if I forget, just tell me, because I've got a memory of a gnat. Oh, that's glue on the floor. It's a good job it's water-based, isn't it? And it just comes off. It's like, when I used to watch my dad wallpaper in, it's that sort of thing, isn't it? I know it feels like it's quite wasteful, but if you just do a batch of them, then you're not wasting glue. I need to not dip myself in that. So we just pop that on there like so. Grab my tweezers. It's just a bit quicker than running glue all around the edges. I just want to make sure I get some on that edge there. Right. Let's just move that slightly, and then I'll come back and do this sentiment. Where's my backer? There it is. Let's see if I can stand up and see what I'm doing. Hold your breath. Perfect. That's certainly easier, isn't it? Right. I'm not bringing this over again. I'm just going to dip my sentiment in the glue. Dab it off a wee bit. So with this set you've got For You, obviously you could mix and match the sentiments across the different fancy frames. Okay. I did smudge it a wee bit. Let's see if we can get that glue off. Oh, that's made a mess of it, Julia. Maybe I should wait until it's actually stuck before I do that. But then I wouldn't get the glue off. Not my neatest. Might have to use my adhesive eraser on that. Why didn't I just leave it alone? Right, okay. We need, what do we need on here? We need some foam tape on the back of this. I haven't got any of my bendy foam tape left. Scissors. There we go. So much easier when I've got my bendy one. But alas, unless Jamie Rogers is going to bring it back, seeing as he's bought Creative Expressions brand, who knows? Who knows? And we just have some little bits to go around the corner here. It's a bit slower when you have to cut little bits. fine. And we'll go under here and pop, I don't think it's moved, I think we're all right, foam tape on the back of here, and add this to our base card. Any card that you make with the fancy frames is pretty quick actually, because all the design work's been done by Phil. So all you need to do is basically cut it out and add some flowers. So, and you know, although it takes sometimes a while to cut your flowers out, depending on how many you put on, whether you do a double layer or not, you don't have so much thinking time because it's all done for you. So the frames are excellent to have. I was honestly shocked when I saw that there are some left on Honeypot Crafts, because I think these are from February time, I think, certainly earlier this year, and they're just stunning. But I do remember there weren't many of the Floral Finery left. So, you know, top tip, as always, if you see something you like, you need to get it before it sells out, because Phil very, very rarely reorders. So make sure that your hearts are pointing in the right direction and not taking a nosedive. And we'll add that to our card. I'm not sure this has been cut straight. Choppers again, rather than dies. And then we'll add we're going to add our frame in there. Beautiful. That's one. And some pricks so that we can move it if we need to. I haven't 100% decided where my sentiment's going to go yet. Did I do it so it was lined up? I think I might have done. Not quite. Okay. I mean, that already looks fabulous, doesn't it? Their fancy frames are just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So we could have that in the centre. I do quite like it in the centre, and then we've got one for pearls. Let's put this, just put it in straight away, and then there won't be any faffing, will there? Because it'll be done. Don't know if I can get any in that top bit. We'll try. Should we just wing it? Let's just wing it. Not the tidiest of gluings there. I might faff around with that afterwards and get my adhesive eraser on it. You know, little things annoy me, and I like things to look as close to neat and tidy as I can. Right, flowers. So as I said, this time I've used the last of the ones I haven't used so far in the previous videos, the lovely Petals. And I've used a mix of the 3 and the 4. This is the second largest of the 4. And I keep meaning to do these shape in a different way, but as I've got the attention span of a gnat and I can't remember, I keep on doing the same old shaping. But I know the next one is still the same because I forgot. But we'll try and do something different at some point. But this is just so easy. So just moving the embossing tool down to the centre of the petal. And then we turn it over, give it a press, and then we just go round and round and round and round and round with the stamen. Obviously it's optional, you don't have to use the stamens, but they're there, so why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I? We need glue. Glue. In the centre. And we just offset those. I think these, we've all said it actually, the design team. I think these are the prettiest flowers that Phil's done. They might not look much on the magnetic sheet, but once you make them up, they're just really pretty. And put a stamen in the centre. If the stamens, then I just have to use them because I really like stamens. Aren't they pretty? And then for in the centre, I'm going to use one of these sugar pink gems. There's no name on them. Obviously yours will come with a name, and they're only available from Honeypot, the gems. There's my pick-up tool. Give it a press. Flattens it out a wee bit, but it's fine. And now we've got the little gem in the centre. Pretty. Pretty. Right. Okay. So I've also got some leaves. As I said, I've cut these out of the new set, which is called one's Magnificent, one's Majestic. This one's Majestic. And I've not used the largest one, so I've got the 3, the 2 and the 1 that we're going to be using. And I've got lots and lots of little flowers here. Now I've got a map, done myself a map where I want to put things. So 3 petal large is going to go up here, like that. And we're going to have 4 large is going to go down here. Fiddle around with it. Doesn't matter if you can see a little bit of what's underneath, because there's actually holes cut out of that as well, so it doesn't really matter. 3 medium is there. 4 medium is there. And then we've got that little one there with the 3s. 4. I'll try to mix up the 3s and the 4s. And then we've got another 4 here, somewhere there. Kind of pretty, isn't it? Lovely. We ought to stick our butterflies together as well while we're at it. I'm only going to stick them on the body and up the antennae. We'll dab off some of the excess glue. So this will probably be one of my quicker videos with this new Floral Finery, because most of the work's done for you with the frame. I bet in group we'll see lots and lots of people using the fancy frames with the new Floral Fineries, because you can see they work so well together. See if I can get my antennae to stick together properly. Okay, let me do the diddy one. So I've just got the fancy die has been cut out of the pure white, and then I've used the rose petal lustre card for the plain layer, and these are the two smallest from the Tatty butterflies. And once they're stuck, we'll shape them a bit. Okay, right, so let's stick our flowers together and then we'll slot the leaves in afterwards, I think. Or should we slot the leaves in first? I don't know, Julia, what are you going to do? So yeah, let's put that leaf in first, I think. I mean, obviously, if you have got the leaves that match the frame, you can use those with the new Floral Finery 3. You can mix and match, obviously, mix and match flowers and leaves. And then we want a little leaf down there, so we can cover that one up with that. Give them some shape if you want to. I'm only going to put them on flat. And I can do this because Phil's laid out where I need to put things for me, which is quite handy. And now we'll put these flowers on. So I think we'll put glue on the frame. And we will pop that one on first. Yeah, but we'll move it over slightly so that I can still get my little one on. Okay, I'll put a bit more glue on the back of this because it might have to go over slightly. So obviously we're dealing with slightly different sizes. Pretty. And then this one can go here. Or not. The glue needs to go somewhere else. So I think we're going to put glue on the back of the flowers instead on the other ones. Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got extra leaves coming down here. So I think we might have, actually I could have done with another lefty. I think we're going to have it like that. So we get rid of the stem of that one. Okay. And we've got some little ones coming out of there. So I reckon we can go for the 2. So when Phil did these, I think like with the leaves, we didn't really have any leaves that were as tiny as that, so he changed the proportions of them. I want to make sure we don't cover our sentiment up. we can have the other leaf going there. Okay, that's all the leaves that are, were on the original one. Don't know, we might still use that. So we'll put the big one on first. So obviously the frame itself follows the petals of the original flowers, but you know, it doesn't matter. And of course, if you wanted to, you could do this heart or one of the others for Christmas. If you've missed out on the Christmas fancy frames from last year, or the two new ones from this year, there might still be some snowflake diamonds left on my website. I know Honeypots have sold out of both of them, but you know, if you can always use the festive frames and put flowers on those, or put some of your festive ones on the everyday ones, you know, mix and match. Because once you've covered up the foliage and the flowers, it can be any occasion, can't it? There we go. That's so pretty. I don't think we need this one, because if we do, yeah, we're going to put twiddly bits in anyway, aren't we? No, I'm not going to put that other leaf in. I want to keep that. Use that on something else. I think we'll put the twiddly bits in. Should we put the twiddly bits in before we do the... No, let's do this first of all. See, talking myself out of it. I'm just holding the butterfly by its body and shaping the wings a wee bit. I'll try and do it with this little tiny one as well. Okay, this one's going to go over here. Beautiful. Might move them up a bit. And then this one's going to need to try and nestle that one in there somewhere. So obviously these flowers must be a bit bigger than the original one. So, do I want it over the flower or do I want it under the flower? I want it under the flower. But we can come up a bit. Okay. This is where we're at so far. Isn't that pretty? Beautiful. Right, okay. Twiddly bits. I'm going to grab them. I haven't got my box out. Ugh. You need twiddly bits in your life because they're such fun. Such fun. Now, I was thinking, because we're doing hearts, we might have the heart ones. And they like to get all up close and personal with each other. So we've got this one. That's not got a heart. Well, I'm sure it has really, but it ends with a dot. There's a heart. I've just cut loads out, so some of them might be repeated. The opposite way of that one. Those are all, that's just a straight one. Yep, another one with a heart. Another one. I'm going to stop sifting through them and use some of them in a minute. I do like these swirly whirly ones. And I like these. These are some of my favourites. I'm trying to use the heart ones on this, I think. Right, so. Yeah, that works. I'll have that. And I'm thinking we might want a swirly whirly bit underneath there. I hate pulling bits off. But not so long on this one. Do we think? Yeah. Did I say this would be a shorter one? It's always shorter until I start fiddling with the twiddly bits. I think they're all about 40 minutes this time. I do like a twiddly bit. What's not to love really with these? They're fabulous, aren't they? I want one of these over here. There's 2 hearts there, so I would like to see both the hearts. We could have it coming up like that, couldn't we? Yeah, we do that. Yummy. Fabulous. Don't want any more. Do I want any more? I think we might have to have, yeah. It's knowing when to stop with these twiddly bits, because you just want more. It is the die set that keeps giving, actually. Just make sure I can still see my sentiment. Completely forgot about that when I put that flower on. But you can still see it, can't you? Yeah. I think we just need one up there, perhaps, and then we'll be done. So, what would we want there? If I've got another one of those, we could just have that one like that, couldn't we? Yeah. Right, so this needs to be, oh, glue, nearly dropped it. That needs to be underneath, and this bit is going to be on top. Fabulous. Do we need to step away from the twiddly bits, or do we need some more coming out here? I don't know. the twiddly bits. Love, 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 love the twiddly bits. They are so cool. Yeah, I think we might have that one in there actually. I dread to think how these are going to be knocked about in the studio. I'm trying not to think about it. But you know, they're going to be, aren't they? Love that, the way it moves around there. I'm having a lovely time. I don't know about you, you're probably bored silly, but I'm having a lovely time. Right. Just wonder whether we need any more on this side or not. Or whether it's a little bit over the top. I'm going to stop. We're going to stop. We've got loads on this side and we've got a couple on that side. That's fine. That's fine. We're going to stop. We'll always come back and do more. Now, I'm not going to add any gems to the hearts because I want them to stay as hearts because we are dealing with a heart. I might just, oh, shall I secure that just there with a little bit of glue underneath that there, just to try and preserve them moving around a little bit. Right, let's put a gem in each corner and then we are finished. How pretty is this? I think this is gorgeous, even if I say so myself. Let's just pop. We have the big ones. You will find a full description of what I've used, or a full list of what I used in the description, excuse me, of this video, as always. I hope you've enjoyed this. I've had a lovely time. Let's just check that my gems are all evenish. As best I can see. Beautiful. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? Wouldn't you be happy to receive that? You would, wouldn't you? Absolutely beautiful. So, as I said, you'll find the products over on my website, juliawattscrafts.co.uk. I have mentioned where I don't have stock, and so you'll find them over at Honeypot. As I said, it's while stocks last. And you'll find them over at Honeypot Crafts too, including the cardstock and the pearls, not pearls, gems. Do like and subscribe here on my YouTube channel if you're not already. Do love to read your comments, and it makes a hell of a difference knowing that you're watching and enjoying it. And do watch out for some other videos as well using this collection. And as I said before, there's over 200 videos using Sentimentally Yours products now. Yeah, and thank you for watching.